And by the way, for all the trolls mad out there who are digging into things, you guys need to add into the equation that Sweet Lady's a doctor and she's paid very well. And again, I don't want to get into that, but the trolls right now are spamming. And hey, you guys can be jealous that I'm in a successful relationship with a successful woman, but I mean, is that helping anything?
Right, Zach Hubbard, it's okay to do ad hominems on me and talk about how I look and where I live because I'm not a rich grifter like Zach who bought 2 houses off selling sports scores and pretends it's going to save the world. Right? But I bet you wouldn't say a motherfucking thing to my inbred white ass in front of me in this room with me. I bet you wouldn't. Easy to talk shit online when you don't do nothing in life.
I just want to ask you a question, and then you
don't need to ask me nothing. It's
all right,
you're a grifting bitch, and she knows you're a bitch just like I do and doesn't respect you. So you just had a newborn, and she's already telling you, hey, dummy, shut the broadcast down and watch this baby because I'm ready to go fuck someone who I respect. This pussy's healed up now, and I'm ready to actually use it on someone who matters, okay? Off the broadcast, back to the baby. I'm going shopping with your money.
And that's why when my trolls are out there saying, oh, Zach's taken all this community money and done things for his own self-betterment. Stop lying, troll. Nobody supports the actual work that I do, troll. There's very little money that was ever put towards the work. A lot of money has been put towards sports picks. I consider doing the sports work and what I raise from that, I consider that my work from my labor. And I don't know who'd ever argue against that anyway.
Welcome back, True Seeker.
Oh, if Zach's stuff's so good, how come he charges so little for it? Because I did it for free and I didn't want to charge anything in the first place. I don't feel like there should be like some high entry point. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm just trying to be a decent human being and pay the bills. Really? No. This guy is full of shit, you guys. And by the way, for all the trolls mad out there who are digging into things, you guys need to add into the equation that Sweet Lady's a doctor and she's paid very well.
Oh, because of Sweet Lady. Oh, because of Sweet Lady. Oh, because of Sweet Lady. Oh, because stop blaming it on Sweet Lady.
And again, I don't want to get into that, but the trolls right now are spamming. And even Pocket Watch Paul's all on that. He's talking about it. And it's just like, hey, you guys can be jealous that I'm in a successful relationship with a successful woman, but
he's deflecting.
But I mean, is that helping anything? If that's what you want to obsess over?
Nope. Deflect.
And again, it's just like the troll I have that screen records everything so that he can make compilations to always make me look bad. What I've always needed the whole time is somebody here screen recording everything that we're right about and putting out compilation videos like that. The work would have gone a lot further. The world would be better off for it, but instead we have a guy who's doing misleading videos, dick-sucking, lying, kike, faggot. And then what's crazy is you read the comment section for that, people, you'll see about 20 names in there of people that I helped build up their channel and promote them and got them a recognition and following, got them to start on Patreon. It's like, okay, so all these people that I helped out, but I did, they're all a bunch of haters over there too. Sometimes you get called out, though. It might make you think twice about what you're doing.
Yep, talking shit. He's making up all kinds of stuff too. I see his comments. So.
Yeah, I can't even figure out how one of the guys got in there because I was like, him and I never even had a altercation once, and I've helped him out many times. How's he over there hating now? I can't even figure this stuff out. So,
yep, secret animosity. That's what it is.
I think honestly, what it is I do have a large network of haters, and I think he tapped into that. If he becomes one of the haters, it helps out his bottom line too. I think that's honestly what must happen with that guy.
Oh, brother.
We got a celebrity in his own mind in the building, and
that's you.
Welcome to the channel.
You look
what do you want to share?
I don't know. You were speaking about me earlier. It was just replayed to me. So what is it that you can't figure out about me and you and the whole situation?
Are you still in your friend's trailer?
No, I'm not in my friend's trailer.
You look inbred.
Okay, so we're gonna do attacks and ad hominems, and that's funny, right? It's okay, right, Zach Hubbard? It's okay to do ad hominems on me and talk about how I look and where I live because I'm not a rich grifter like Zach who bought 2 houses off selling sports scores and pretends it's gonna save the world, right? Because I choose not to take development deals and sell my soul and be a grifter. I'm a bad guy, right?
Hold on. Don't say anything.
But I bet you wouldn't say a motherfucking thing to my inbred white ass in front of me in this room with me. I bet you wouldn't. I bet you wouldn't.
I'll let you
want to make a bet on it? You want to make a bet that none of you fucking high-powered cowards online who don't do shit wouldn't say a motherfucking thing to me on the block or in my face?
You won't do shit, bro.
Oh, you want to bet on it? Would you like to bet on it? Because I've been waiting for some of you punk cowards to come and get everything you're looking for in this life. And I'm still waiting. Easy to talk shit online when you don't do nothing in life, when you ain't about nothing.
Hold on, Paul.
So would you like to refocus how all you cowards just fucking cried up here about rights and freedoms for the last 2 hours?
All right, Paul always mutes everybody when they come on his platform. Paul, I just want to ask you a question, and then you can
You don't need to ask me nothing. It's a,
all right,
you're a grifting bitch.
Here, all right, I'll bring him back on.
Zach, you're a coward. Most of you on here are cowards. You like to play the hero, as the intro says, but really you're just a bunch of tricksters and grifters and fools, and you have nothing to offer except grifting off of the audience. A beta bitch coward who's never going to stand for what's true and what's right, who cries all day online, grifts off your audience, makes excuses, and when the real deal gets in the room, you try to demean and devalue me and disempower me by throwing me out and silencing me and cutting my tongue out. You're no different than all the beta bitches in the government you complain about. I love shitting all over you guys' credibility with the truth. This ain't about hating. I don't want to be you. I don't want what you have. I'm here to get what I'm meant to have. As you saw today, I have all that I need and then some. It ain't about the fucking numbers. It ain't about the money, non-money. All that shit's going away at some point anyway. And then you're left with you, your legacy, what you've done and not done, lying on me, projecting on me, trying to demean me, saying I'm poor and broke and all the rest of it. You'd like that. You'd like it to be like that, elitist, right? Where you could do classism. And you could say, Paulie's in a trailer. He's poor and broke. He didn't grift 5 houses like me, lying on everybody.
Yeah, fair words. Fair words.
You just have no self-respect and no integrity. You're willing to sell out yourself and the truth to get a whole bunch of money, non-money from a bunch of dupes and grifted out slaves, pretending to be their friend and giving them answers that you ain't got for yourself because you ain't a man. I'm the guy, remember, who you can't believe calls the audience slaves, because guess what? Most of you are. You're a fucking coward, but you get on here and you grift on old ladies and people who are depressed and people who just want some inspiration and empowerment and answers. You ain't got that. So it makes sense why you can't give that. What you can give them is a sports score, more addiction. What you can give them is number counting, schizophrenia. Pretend that you're living in synchronicity, right? What you can give him is false hopes and false dreams that we're all going to get together one day and save the world if you just keep buying my garbage. It's not how it happens. I'm telling you, you're a lying, grifting, cowardly scum.
Indeed.
So we watched before on your broadcast when that bitch made you shut your broadcast off and go watch the baby. We know where this is going. That woman's going to run your life now because you got a house and a baby with her. And now you're locked in and she knows you're a bitch just like I do and doesn't respect you. So you just had a newborn and she's already telling you, hey, dummy, shut the broadcast down and watch this baby because I'm ready to go fuck someone who I respect. This pussy's healed up now and I'm ready to actually use it on someone who matters, okay? So I give you like 3 to 5 years, 10 max, if you can really like bullshit good, which you can't. She's already gone. She already doesn't respect you. She's already punking you in front of your whole audience because she knows you ain't shit, whether they do or not. Like, here, hold the baby while you're on a broadcast. She only had to wait an hour and a half, 2 hours. It wasn't about that. It's about showing you ain't shit. You got a baby now. Cut this crap. I don't respect you. Off the broadcast, back to the baby. I'm going shopping with your money. Start the countdown for Zach Hubbard getting half that shit that he lied and grifted for taken by this bitch. Zach Hubbard doesn't realize he has a Jezebel harlot in his home up under him because he's reflecting that, and she's going to fuck his whole life up. And I'm going to laugh at it.
Me too.
It's not because I don't know it. It's because I do know me and those archetypes that I can understand it and see it and laugh at the fact that he will ignore it.
And see, I mean, the thing about doing this and exposing it is it makes you the target of the cabal, and you have to deal with all this bullshit and continuous slander and harassment and weirdos. And again, you guys, I mean, how great was this presentation I gave you today?
I've got to be honest with you. I've seen better.
How many resources did we generate for the cause? We generated $5 minus 30%, so that's $3.50 after YouTube tax. $2, that's going to be $1.20. And 2 memberships, that's also going to be $1.20. So we racked up $2.40 plus $3.50. So we got $5.90 to help, change the world with the cause.
which is more than you deserve.
And that's why when my trolls are out there saying, oh, Zach's taken all this community money and done things for his own self-betterment. Yeah, fair words. Fair words. Stop lying, troll. Nobody supports the actual work that I do, troll. The only work that gets supported is sports decoding. None of those people care about the movement. They care about sports picks and winning and gambling. That's where the revenue comes in for this work. And when I'm saying, hey, I found a great building. You guys want to create Gematria Effect news? $0 come in, or I'm probably undermining the $100 that did come in. There probably $100 came in. Unfortunately, $100 doesn't pay for a building. Then I go do a sports decode and 100 people sign up for the work. All right. Again, the troll knows this too. That's why he's totally dishonest and everything's edited and cut up. There is very little support for the actual work that I do that I care the most about. Okay. This is par for the course. $5.90 for an hour-long broadcast. What you sound like, though, is an ungrateful bitch. So again, when you're listening to trolls talk about how I stole money from the community. First of all, what the troll discounted is I'm married to a doctor who makes very good money. And, you know, she's the breadwinner in this house right now.
What a crock of shit.
And no, I haven't stolen any money for anybody. What I invest into the community through that website, that's more than what comes in for the work outside of the sports work. So I'm taking what I earn from the sports work and putting that back into the community to try and build something. That's the reality of the situation.
See how he just made that distinction? For years he said Patreon was the metric for hiring people and getting a building, yet now he's saying that money is essentially separate. Also, he's probably spent about 5 to 10% of the money that's come in on the website, while he pocketed the other 90 to 95%.
Anybody who has different facts, let me know about it, because I'll prove you wrong all day.
So, Zach, fuck you. Guys, fuck you, Zachary K. Hubbard, you motherfucker.
No, it gets annoying, like constantly being harassed by weirdos and trolled and people lying about you. And there's been very little support for this work.
Oh, that's a load of shit.
Again, I mean, do you guys remember my Patreon? I put my book up there. It was up for like 3 months, or no, it was up for about, again, I remember now. I could not get anyone to print the book, so I put it up as an ebook for $5 on Patreon.
Oh, really?
Flashback. What I've done is I've created a Patreon page, and I've made it for anyone who donates $11. And I meant to make it a one-time donation, but it turns out it's a monthly donation. So what I'm going to do is, if you are willing to make this $11 monthly donation, you get the entire book in PDF format, chapter index, start to finish, everything that'll be in the printed version. What else you're going to get for that $11, since it's every month, I'm going to make sure that you get all of my video content. I'm going to start uploading all of my videos to Patreon, so it'll all be here. It'll be saved. This should be a safe place where it won't be censored. You'll get all of the video content, the entire book in PDF format, and I'll make sure that I put out a monthly newsletter. And what that newsletter will be the most important stories of the month covered. And, you know, by the end of the year, that monthly newsletter collection will be like another book. That's what you'll get for the $11 membership.
Fraud! I could not get anyone to print the book, so I put it up as an ebook for $5 on Patreon.
So what I'm going to do is, if you are willing to make this $11 monthly donation, you get the entire book in PDF format, chapter index, start to finish.
Oh, you busted Zach. Oh, you caught him on that one. I remember now. It was in March. It's coming back to me. I put it up on March for $5 on Patreon to get the ebook.
Liar. Liar. Deceiver.
And there was also a tier that if you wanted to buy it for $10 or something, if you want to pay extra for it.
It was $11, and that was the only tier it was available on.
From March to September, the Patreon raised a total of $1,000 in book sales. So that means it sold between like probably about, we'll just say 200 copies over the course of 5 months, 6 months.
Anyone can go back to this video on BitChute and see he was making $1,000 to $1,500 a month on Patreon during that time. So yet another lie.
From March to September, the Patreon raised a total of $1,000 in book sales. So
Lying cocksucker.
when I said I was going to start doing football picks on Patreon, it went up a lot more overnight. Okay? So anybody who wants to ever come here and say that I stole community money, you're a lying fraud. There's very little money that was ever put towards the work. A lot of money has been put towards sports picks.
He said it was all going towards the same goals. How could you even differentiate between the two? Someone might pledge $5 for the work and not for the sports picks, but that's the sports picks tier. This is just a disingenuous argument.
So again, don't ever come at me with, just shut up.
No, I don't think I will.
Chopping up my videos and making them super misleading. Yeah, we can do a stream about that later. And again, you're going to hear the only weirdo who's going to call in and say anything is the same guy who claims that he wrote my book, Marco, the worst decoder on earth. Because he's just, he's just talking shit. It's like a few trolls trying to create a narrative that's totally false.
Is it though?
Again, jealous loser haters out there making up narratives and stories, being disingenuous all the time. It is sad that I need to explain any of this. Yeah. Anyone coming at me saying fraud, criminal, stole, you're full of shit.
Sure, Jan.
You're looking at a very generous person. You're looking at a very generous person who's given out all of his work for free, pretty much.
Bullshit.
But again, everything I put back into this community is a lot more than what was ever raised to do things like the things I've asked for people to support. Really? No. This guy is full of shit, you guys.
Here comes the best part.
Again, I consider doing the sports work and what I raise from that, I consider that my work from my labor.
You guys, is this not the sounding of a fucking fraud? Did you hear what he said?
I consider doing the sports work and what I raise from that, I consider that my work from my labor.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'll tell you what though, if this per month thing gets up to something like $10,000 a month, I'll hire a couple people. Then I can afford to have some employees. I'll hire Jonathan, Right now there's 10,787 coming in a month. That's more than I need for myself. That's why I'm paying $1,000 a month for a website. That's why I'm saving the rest of the money for a future cause, like getting a building and renovating it and being able to have the resources to put in the furniture that we can have to set up a, Geometry Effect news studio. This money is for the cause. If this money goes up to $30,000, I'm telling you guys, it's going to happen overnight. We're going to have the building. We're going to have people hired. It's going to make a huge difference. We can do a lot with $30,000 a month. But I am saying we hit 30,000, things will happen. Things will happen, and they'll happen fast, and you'll see it. I'm transparent. I consider doing the sports work and what I raise from that, I consider that my work from my labor. This money is for the cause. This money is for the cause. I consider doing the sports work and what I raise from that, I consider that my work from my labor. I mean, to me, that's a joke right there. That's a joke. I don't even want to hear that. It's just like, oh my God, oh my God. And I don't know who'd ever argue against that anyway. This money is for the cause. And I don't know who'd ever argue against that anyway.
Apparently you.
But then you got this network of trolls always trying to paint this picture. A network of trolls who've never donated anything to the cause, who just sit on the sidelines and hate.
If someone questions you, distract them from the original lie with more lies. Here.
That's what you call a pack of disingenuous losers. Anytime that troll puts out the video, the first comment always comes from one person that I know is a real person. That's the same person ran up a bill for me the first time I came out to sit there and listen to him cry for 3 hours. You know, he needed me to come down to Seattle where he was in the heat of traffic. So I had to drive through thick traffic, expensive parking. Then he doesn't have any money. He's hungry. He needs something to drink. Sit there for 3 hours, eat up my own time. And then he wanted to meet again for lunch. Racks up an even bigger bill. Just kept ordering everything on the menu. I mean, the guy literally ordered multiple desserts after he ordered like 5 or 6 dishes for himself and multiple beverages. Who does that? Appetizer, 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 dish, another dish, drink, another drink, milkshake, dessert.
Bon appetit.
And that's the same person that's always like the first person to comment in the Trolls channel. So these are the people out there that want to say, I'm the bad guy.
If the shoe fits.
I mean, please. That guy leaves comments like, yeah, someday Zach will burn in hell. What? Because I spent like $300 and some on your lunch tab? Please. No, trust me, you guys. My troll network is a bunch of just like literal filth.
Sure, Jan.
I'll sit there and make edited videos and slanders and dox my information. And we know what the troll's really helping for. He's been here to watch my properties get vandalized over the years.
Oh, brother.
First off, I blacked out the house numbers, and what he's actually hoping for is a lot worse.
If all you can do is get up and harass that person every day, I think you should kill yourself. In fact, not only do I think that, I think it would be right if somebody found out where you were, doxed you, and killed your ass. I think that would be more than deserved. The one guy whose handle is, yeah, in a way, this is kind of deserved. We don't know if he's still existing, but yeah, the troll out there who screen records everything and chops up my videos like a politician and tries to make it look like when we have good weeks, we had a bad week, just a total piece of shit. Your handle is funny. And he is one guy that does deserve to get doxxed, so. I mean, you guys, the things he's gotten away with on YouTube, talking about killing people over and over, murdering people, and his videos just stay up, I mean, that's crazy. And you're making videos with these bullshit calculations about how much money you look how much money you would have lost if you went with Zach's picks last week.
Just a heads up, this is going to be an expedited review of his picks for weeks 5 to 11 as to not have the video be too long.
Pretty great day in the NFL. The only disappointment, I did not think the Niners were going to lose today. I don't know how Kyle Shanahan didn't get his 75th win. That's the Arizona Cardinals number. But outside of that, on the right side of damn near everything. If only Joe Burrow could have hung on to win too. And posted another big winning week in NFL Week 5. This is called advertising. Just like to do a little gloat about our weekly big victories.
It's just their ego. They're all about their ego. I'll tell you what, this NFL week on the 322nd day of the year with all these 40 all over the board, it's the kind of weekend. See, all you dummies out there are like, oh, 41, 3, 2, 2, what's that mean? Hey, come learn about it and see how repetitive it is, because I see another weekend where a lot of people are going to be cashing big. That's what I see. I see that's what's on the horizon here. Yeah, again, the people who all these facts land on, and they're just like, oh wow, it equals 41 skull and bones. Duh. It's like, okay, keep mocking it. We'll keep cashing the checks. We'll keep cashing the slips. I see another weekend where a lot of people are going to be cashing big. That's what I see. I see that's what's on the horizon here.
Another wrong predictions.
It is Thursday, and it looks like 35 Thursday is in store. But yeah, 35 Thursday, it looks like the riddle is quite clear. If Russell Wilson wins, he gets his 35th win in primetime. And if Jameis Winston loses, he stays on 35 career wins. And I see people in the chat talking about stats outside of 35. If you want to fade 35 Thursday, that's up to you. But you might have just been born yesterday. So we don't fade 35 Thursday, and for good reason.
Don't ever fade a 35 on Thursday, even if it ends up not coming through. Most of the time, it's going to come through.
It comes through at a very high percentage, unless it's on both sides or it's in some obscure stat where we found the 35. But this is the quarterbacks on both sides.
Right.
So yeah, for the people in the chat that are going against the 35, I mean, if you win, congrats to you. But I'll tell you what, you got lucky as hell. That was a stupid strategy to go against 35 Thursday.
How about shut the fuck up, morons? I'm not wrong about anything.
This Vikings and Bears game, I'm thinking the Bears with the points is not a bad way to go here. They have plenty of narrative to win. Again, we know Minnesota in 52. Bears can become 5-2 at home if they upset. The Vikings coach could also get his 18th loss. Bears 18 in the most here. I count a couple more things going in the Bears' favor than the Vikings, but Vikings, as we know, been a top team this year. So I'm thinking Bears with the points. Not the worst call. So yeah, I do think Chicago with the points there. The Lions and the Colts, we talked about this last week. If the Colts upset last week, it would set up the possibility that they could upset the Lions and become 6-6, because that's the overlap number. Lions, Colts, again, big number with the NFL. NFL equals 66 in Jewish gematria. It's the 11th triangular number. So yeah, there is a possibility here and value. If you're the kind of person that always lays a bigger amount of money on games, it's probably, if you're going against the Lions, it's probably better to take the dog with the points. I saw a couple things that could make sense if the Lions didn't cover the spread. If they won by 5 or even a point, their point differential could make sense. If they win by those margins, it does not cover the 7-point spread. Again, like I said, if you tease the Colts up a half point to plus 7.5, if they lose by a touchdown on the 7-date numerology, they cover. There's also a narrative for the Colts to potentially win by 1 to get to plus 15.
I've been predicting the future for over 9 years straight accurately. I get annoyed when people are like, hey, your predictions are nowhere near Nostradamus.
You know what, you guys? This is not a false statement. I could wipe my ass with the name Nostradamus. Literally. Literally.
The Patriots and Dolphins game, Tua has never lost to the Patriots. He's 6-0 versus them. He can become 7-0. He can get his 7th win on 7-date numerology. Miami Dolphins 70. I like to follow historical trends, and Tua's trend is he dominates the Patriots. But I always look for strong QB narratives, and I favor the idea that Tua becomes 7-0 versus the Dolphins. Again, 7-date numerology, Miami Dolphins 70. And also one other thing that's there is you have 43-date numerology in the path as well. Dolphins equals 43 like Florida. If the Dolphins win, they get their 43rd home win in the series. So that also stood out to me. The Bucs and the Giants. On the surface, there's 3 things going for a Giants upset. They can get to 3-8, Giants 38. They can become 1-5 at home. Tampa 15, and the Bucks can fall to 4-7. Tampa Bay 47. And if the Giants did win at home, it would open the door for them to become 2-5 at home. Giants like 25 a lot. Again, the surface level does make it look like the Giants got a real shot to upset. I think the Giants with the points isn't the worst call.
Do you know how much money I've pulled out of the casino's pockets? I guarantee you it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
The Cowboys and Commanders, we've seen the 4-2 thing happen on both sides in a Commanders game or two this year, and it could happen again, but I don't trust the Cowboys at all. If the Cowboys were to win, they'd be 4-2 away, and the Commanders would fall to 4-2 at home, and Dan Quinn would also get his 49th loss, which historically is a good number with Dallas. But again, I don't trust this Cowboys team at all. I trust them to get blown out every week at this point. And on the flip side, if the Commanders are going to put it on the Cowboys, like what's been happening to the Cowboys almost every week, I could see them winning by 13. They become plus 78, 78, the 12th triangular number. They could win by 9 as well. If they win by 9, they're plus 74, Dallas Cowboys 74. And if they win by 9, they don't quite cover the spread because they're a 10.5 point favorite. Yeah, it makes that a little bit dicey there, that spread, because there's a decent narrative to win by 9 or 13. And keep in mind, if they did lose by 13, both teams got the 13 connection. Dallas 13 and Washington Commanders is 91, the 13th triangular, where it looks like there could be a 13 theme to the week. But yeah, the Cowboys, I think if you're going to take them with the points, it wouldn't be the worst idea to tease them up to plus 13.5 in case they don't cover that 10.5. The Chiefs and the Panthers, again, I'll be surprised if the Chiefs don't become 10-1 and the Panthers don't fall to 3-8. Panthers and 38, I mean, that's like a really consistent pattern. Panthers equals 38 and 101. And keep in mind, Mahomes can get his 43rd road win. You got 43 date numerology. Panthers is also 43. Actually, this game will hit every single Panthers value in the 4-base ciphers if the Chiefs win. The other Panthers value is 115, and the Chiefs will get their 115th win versus the NFC in the regular season. So, yeah, I mean, that's a 4 for 4 hitting all the gematria values if the Chiefs win. All right, Titans and Texans. The 5-1 patterns come up several times this year with the Texans. Again, Houston Texans equals 51. They hosted Super Bowl 51. Only one time has that pattern failed, and that was versus the Lions. So, yeah, it's hard to go against that. It's hard to go against the Texans becoming 5-1 at home in this game. If Stroud won, he would become 2-0 versus the Titans. Titans and Texans both 20. I think what is worth a shot is the Texans winning by 12 plus as well. Again, that has a lot of value. If you got the Texans to win by 12 plus, and you're trying to turn small bills into big bills. If the Texans win by 12, they become plus 34 for the year. And Texans equals 34. And Tennessee also equals 34. So it's the overlap number. So I'm like, okay, week 12 could be an abundance of 12. Again, because it's the day leaving 37 days left near the 12th prime. So if the Texans do win and that 5-1 hits, could also be a 12-point win.
I'm not a greedy person. I don't say, here, to get my sports picks, you got to pay $500 a month, even though they're worth that. You know, they're worth that.
I'm going to start with the 49ers game. I think they got a shot. I think if I was you, I would take them with the points. You forgot to add that Jordan Love can fall to 7-6. At home, that's what San Francisco equals. I also saw in the conference records, 49ers can become 4-4. Like Packers is 44 in the conference. Packers can fall to 3-4 like 49ers. I think 49ers got a shot. I would take the points.
The Tom Brady calling the game definitely gives them a shot. Man, yeah, again, just road teams are 10-1 with Tom Brady calling the game. So I almost feel like I definitely need to flip this around. Yeah. I think the Niners with the points. I think you better take the Niners with the points, though.
Another wrong prediction.
People want to focus on the things where I've been wrong, you know? Why?
Okay, Cardinals and Seahawks. Geno Smith, I mean, if he wins, he's 36-42 all time. That stands out. Cardinals 36. Arizona 42. But he can get his 42nd regular season loss. And we've been talking about how they have been syncing the Cardinals up with the Pope. This game's 23 days before the Pope's birthday. If the Cardinals lose, they're 2-3 away. What stood out to me is the Cardinals, the thing that concerns me is the Cardinals can get their 19th road win in week 12, and Seattle's 19. And if the Cardinals won by a point, they would be plus 19. Yeah, I don't really like to go against 19 in Seattle, but if I did have to play this game, I'd stick with, I would barely, just like I wrote, I'd barely take the Seahawks narrative because Geno Smith, his all-time record is perfect with a win. The Cardinals must have became the favorite in the Seahawks game? Go back and look at that. Before, the Seahawks were a 1-point favorite, so it must have flipped to the Cardinals side. You know, if the Cardinals became the favorite, it might be best to take Seattle at plus 1.5, because remember, the narrative for the Cardinals to win is to get that 19th road win versus the NFC West and become plus 19 in the point differential. So if the Cardinals have become the favorite this morning and you're thinking about that game, if you play it, it might be best to take Seattle plus 1.5. The Eagles and the Rams, the one thing that's on the surface to go for the Eagles is them becoming 5-1 away, Rams 51. But the 12 in this game is definitely in favor of the Eagles. And remember, 12 already plays well on SNF. SNF 12. SNF also has the 39 thing. The 12 and the 39 would both play for the Eagles here. Hurts can stay on 12 road losses. Stafford can get his 12th home loss with the Rams. The Rams can get their 39th home loss versus the NFC East. So SNF 12 and 39. Surface level makes it feel a little bit dangerous to take the Eagles, but I have a hunch that 12 is going to be 12 and 37, going to be smashing. And again, the 12 is definitely on side of the Eagles in this one. So.
And by the way, for my troll, that was real dirty of you to cut out the 2-minute segment of nothing but winning information on Thursday Night Football, you dirty little troll, you. Play the full clip, and then let's see if we got burned on Thursday night. Nah, we hit that first touchdown of the game for the 35th pick. We hit that 2 touchdowns for the game for the 35th pick, and it was another beautiful night. Just for the warning for the people out there, my dirty troll is always editing the audio to make it sound a little bit different than it actually was.
And this is what he does. It's really hard for him to admit that he's wrong.
Real quick for Monday Night Football, home teams are 92 and 86 coming into tonight. 93. Monday Night Football is 93. If we have the hometown underdog Chargers win the game, they get the 93rd win of the year. Also, home teams are 4-8 for the week right now. If home teams win, they're 5-8. Baltimore's 58. One thing that is also encouraging, though, for the Chargers is Herbert can get his 38th win. Ravens equals 38. And yeah, the league-wide record looks good for the Chargers. The fact that Chargers can become 7-9 versus the Ravens all time also looks good for them. Ravens and Chargers both equal 79. And of course, Ravens is also 83 and the Chargers can improve to 8-3. 25 is strong with the Ravens team, and Jim Harbaugh can stay on 25 all-time losses. Harbaugh could get his 104th regular season loss. Inglewood, where the game is 104. In the coach category, it does look a little bit better for Chargers as well. Herbert's got mostly a narrative to win. Because the Chargers are a dog, you could take them with the points. I saw in the score category a reason for Baltimore to win by 2 if they do prevail. Actually, there's a narrative for them to potentially win by 3 or 2. So if you had the Chargers at plus 3.5, that might not be a bad spot to take them.
Why do you think USA Today wrote their article about me? It's because this was never done before. Casinos have never taken losses like this before. And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS.
Congrats to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
But yeah, just on the surface, the New York does have the 39-33 thing. New York 39-33, Cowboys 33.
But I've seen 60 with Thanksgiving before. Cowboys can get that 60th home loss versus the NFC East. That's Thanksgiving in the most pure. So you got the 39 and 33 thing and the 60 thing all going against the Cowboys. If he's in, he can fall to 6-4. New York Giants 64. I'd say Rush being in, though, it would be a favorable sign for the Giants. You got 2-date numerology and a 3.5-point spread. So if it's a field goal game and you got the Giants with the points, you win. So I'm still thinking that's probably the right way to go. If the Cowboys do lose their next two, they are going to be 4-9, like Dallas is 49. And again, you look at both quarterbacks. If it's Rush and Drew Lock, the quarterbacks say Giants win too. Yeah, I'm thinking Giants with the points is the right way.
I mean, I've been absolutely correct about everything I came with. And for every troll who tried to take a clip of that and then show things I've been wrong about, you're a moron. I've been right about everything.
And again, the Dolphins are the one team that can hit 6-6. 6-6 is a good one on Thanksgiving. It's been a consistent winner. Yeah, the surface level narratives. Again, Dolphins upsetting is my lean here versus Green Bay. Green Bay Packers is 84 as well. Another reason to think the Packers can fall to 8-4, 4-3 at home. Dolphins get to 6-6.
Dolphins, man, I like their numbers a lot, man.
That's my favorite game tomorrow. The value's there, and the 6-6 has been good on Thanksgiving. I mean, I don't want to jinx you guys, but 66 hasn't failed on Thanksgiving in a long time. It's been several years. So a lot of things there. Green Bay Packers 84, Dolphins 43. LaFleur can get his 35th loss. I mean, there's a lot of things there going for the Dolphins.
I'm right about everything.
And they'll be like, bleh, bleh. And I'm just annoyed, man. I am so annoyed with sports decoding right now. And when we get in these things where we're in a lull, like we're definitely in a lull for the last week plus. But yeah, it was annoying to see the Dolphins go down last night. 6-6 and 66 has not failed on Thanksgiving in quite a few years. And then sure enough, it failed while we stay in this little rut. I think we're going to keep seeing the Chiefs and Lions move together, though. Again, black equals 11-29. Notice the Raiders come in 2-9, but the Chiefs can pick up their 11th win. Mahomes, his next regular season home win is 42, and he can stay on 11 home losses as well. I think with Black Friday game that, I think the black is more important than the date numerology. So the 42-11 at home looks more symbolic to me than Antonio Pierce. I don't like to fade 14 with KC ever. The baseball team, the football team. KC and 14 is strong. He can pick up his 14th. And Chargers and Falcons, 85 happens a lot in Atlanta. Atlanta, Georgia's 85, and it's on I-85. If the Falcons lose, they're 8-5. Herbert has a narrative to win or lose, but he has more narrative to win than lose. Cousins has, for the immediate game, a narrative to not win, staying on 47 home wins versus the 47 team, the Chargers. Harbaugh can get to 8-4 with the Chargers on the 84th Meridian West, where 84 also plays in Atlanta. The Week 13 stats look good for the Chargers. They can get the 40th win in Week 13. Atlanta Falcons 40 and 15th road win. Atlanta 15. Those are both good numbers with Atlanta, so that stands out. I'm not going to lie. It's that Week 13 category that really has me leaning Chargers. But the Steelers and the Bengals, they made the Bengals the favorite. And if you look at just the QBs alone, it does look like the Bengals can win. Wilson can get his 51st road loss, strong number in Cincinnati. Looking ahead is what makes me think twice about this. If the Steelers can win their next 3 games, they're going to be 11-3 after the Eagles. Eagles equals 113, Steelers is 113, and Tomlin would stay on 113 losses. And remember, the Eagles and the Steelers were once the same team. And that's why in my write-up, I decided to take the Steelers at plus 6.5. It's not a great payout, but if you're parlaying things together, you can think about playing them that way. The reason I said plus 6.5 is because if they lost by 6, they'd be plus 60 Bengals number. They have plenty of narrative to win. It's just worst case scenario, I see them losing by 6 points. The Cardinals and the Vikings, again, there's a lot on the surface here that makes me think the Cardinals can upset. Both teams equal 75 in the most pure cipher. Arizona Cardinals and Minnesota Vikings, both 75. If the Cardinals win, they're 7-5. Minneapolis, Minnesota equals 93, and it's on the 93rd Meridian West. If the Vikings lose, they're 9-3. And Arizona also equals 42. If the Vikings lose, they're 4-2 at home. So a lot going on the surface to think the Cardinals can upset. Cardinals are another team you could take with the points. Colts and Patriots, I didn't see a whole lot to bank on in this game, but like I wrote in the write-up, when in doubt in a Colts game, just follow the 15. If the Patriots lose, they're going to be 1-5 at home. Colts equals 15 in the most pure. The coach of the Colts also has a chance to become 15-15 in this game. Again, the Patriots can fall to 1-5 at home. So I think that's probably the way to go in this game. The Seahawks and Jets, Aaron Rodgers does have a narrative to win. I did see the Seahawks could fall to 11-9 away in week 13. Again, Seattle and the New York Jets and football history and world history, it all fits in with the 9/11 ritual. That's possible.
But isn't Aaron Rodgers next over? Doesn't he have a 93 he can pick up too? Isn't there a 93?
I know he can pick up a 92. Let me see if he can pick up. If he can pick up a 93, I might bite. If he can pick up, I know he can pick up 92 in Seattle Seahawks is 92. If he can pick up a 93 as well, I might end up biting on this game. Oh, wait, there is a 93. Rodgers can stay on 93 losses. Oh, snap.
And his full name equals 93 in the most.
Yeah. You know what, you guys? I'm tempted to bite on that. I'm tempted to bite on that with all this 93 stuff and Aleister Crowley's birthday. They're clearly paying tribute to this guy.
There's never been anyone more right who's walked on the face of this fucking earth than yours truly.
Titans and Commanders. If the Titans lose by 3, they'll be -91 in point differential. Washington Commanders is 91. 91's the 13th triangular number going with week 13. So if that happened, if the Titans lost by 3, they would cover the spread. They're a 5.5-point dog. The narrative for the Titans to upset is to become 3-4 away. Tennessee's 34 and drop the Commanders to 4-3 at home. Titans 43. You could tease the Titans up to +7.5 and take them with the points there. The reason for that is if the Commanders win by 7, they're +64 before they play the Saints, who have the 64 connection. So I see a narrative for the Titans to lose between 3 and 7. The 3 might make more sense. Again, the 91 would be very specific to week 13 and the opponent. But yeah, Titans at +7.5 might not be the worst way to play that game.
How about shut the fuck up, morons? I'm not wrong about anything.
The Texans and Jaguars, again, I love 66 the most in a Jaguars game. 77's my second favorite number in a Jaguars game, and that 77's here. We don't have a 66, but we have a 77. Stroud can improve to 7-7 away with a win. Houston and Jaguars both equal 77, and they would become 4-3 away for the year. And Jacksonville equals 43. So I think that's the right call there, is to take Stroud to get to 7-7. I think Texans do prevail there. The Saints have some value with an upset. Both teams are 5-7 if the Saints upset. Rams equals 57. And Stafford could get his 64th road loss. New Orleans Saints 64. Carr can also stay on 91 regular season losses in week 13. 91, the 13th triangular number. Of course, LA has the 13 connection too. And McVay can stay on 82 all-time wins. Saints 82. The more primary stats all look better for the Saints to upset. Why do you think USA Today wrote their article about me? It's because this was never done before. Casinos have never taken losses like this before. The Bucks and the Panthers, the date numerology, 2 date numerologies and 1 gematria narrative could all go in Mayfield's favor. So he has 3 things going for him, or he can become 9-6 away with the Bucks. Carolina Panthers 96, get that 21st win and 48th win. That both goes with the 3 date numerology. Yeah, 3 things for Mayfield, 1 against him. The Eagles and the Ravens, I got to side with just the surface level narrative here in the overall record. Philadelphia Eagles and the Ravens both equal 93. If the Eagles lose, they're 9-3. Lamar Jackson has a history of dominating the NFC, as we know. He's 23-1 versus the NFC. He could become 12-0 at home on 12 date numerology. That's versus the NFC. So yeah, I'm just going to ride the historical trend that Jackson dominates the NFC
And like I said, the 9-3 thing. But yeah, lean in Ravens in that one.
Yeah, you might have a lot of predictions, but how often are you wrong? Who cares about how often I'm wrong? The point is, and again, to answer your question, it's a really high ratio of being right.
49ers and Bills, when I first published the notes, earlier today what I read said that Purdy likely wasn't going to play, but then I double-checked it after I published the notes, and it looks like he is going to play. With Purdy in there, Purdy has more narrative to win than lose. So I adjusted my opinion on this game. I think I like the Niners with the points. I think if Buffalo does win, I think it's a good chance they win by a touchdown to become plus 113 in scoring differential for the year. OJ Simpson equals 113. Okay, so yeah, Purdy can get his 27th win, but if you just look at his record in the regular season, he can get the 12th road win and that 27th all-time win. McDermott, though, can get that 50th all-time loss or stay on 49 all-time losses versus the 49ers, but San Francisco and 50 plays hard. Yeah, I don't think 49ers at plus 7.5, though, is a bad way to play this game.
You're not me. You're not the person who broke the code. You're not the person who's helped people win for 10 years. I'm sure there's somebody in a casino right now with my picture throwing darts at it. Fuck that guy. Cost us a lot of money again this weekend.
If the Broncos win the next two, they are 9-5. Oh, actually, maybe that's it. They're 9-5, and they were the Baltimore Colts back then. Baltimore's 95. I guess that makes sense. And the season began on 9-5. Yeah, I gotta think. Looking at this, that they are going to become 9-5. But ultimately, I do think the Broncos are becoming 9-5 by winning the next two over the former Baltimore team.
And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS. Congrats to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
Congratulations, truth seekers. Here's another great day. We did it again. Yeah.
She's working on it. What she meant to say was congrats to the winners.
Please, Satan, don't let anybody see that video. I don't have enough money.
That's all, folks.
Till next time, Truth Seeker.